What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on D's Analysis. We're going to be looking at Solana today. As you can see, we're back in our trading range that we've been in since September or August 2021. We've fallen underneath it, and it looks like we reclaimed it. We were riding up this trend line, and we fell underneath it, and then we established another trend line to the downside. Actually, it kind of you can draw actually all the way back to here. And we've actually finally broken out of it. So things are looking good. We did get a bounce off the bottom of this trading range here. We got a bounce off of it, and now we're creating a bull flag. So this is looking very bullish. On the daily, as you can see here, you have your flagpole, and then you have your actual flag. It could end up being wider than that, but you can already start to see it form. It is a little tighter than usual because of the lack of volume right now. We haven't had major volume yet, so it's kind of just trending sideways. But the more it consolidates, the larger the breakout. But if you were to take this measured move, hypothetically, if this were the actual bottom, and you measure that from there, that'd give you something closer to the top of this range. Does not mean that that's going to play out. It's just how bull flags work. And when you factor in the fact that we did break out of this downward sloping trend line, looks like we tried to get a retest, and then we just ended up shooting up. Of course, we need Bitcoin to rally up if we want Solana to run up as well. But overall, once you get to the top of this channel, you might run into this upward sloping trend line, and you could potentially get resistance here if you run up here, and it could push price down until you can finally break through it and retest that trend line and push up higher. But that's going to be confluenced together to reject price, because you're going to have the upward sloping trend line above your head, which is going to act as resistance, along with this level of resistance at the top of the range. So something to keep note of whenever Solana finally does make it to that top of the range. And then when we go over the SMAs, we're looking very good. As you can see, we broke above the 20 and the 50. We got the cross. It's looking very bullish. So imagine you have a bull flag and you have the 20-day and 50-day supporting price underneath it. Very bullish. Now you could run into some resistance here at the 200 SMA here at about 180. So keep that in mind. On the weekly, you're going to run into some more resistance as you have the 20 and the 50 creating a nice little cross to the downside. But remember, this is a lagging indicator. So this move to the downside is really this move here. So we're already starting to push back up. So potentially, if this is an extended move to the upside, you can see the blue line potentially curl back up quickly and reclaim this 50, which is the yellow and pink moving average. That would be the ideal scenario, but expect resistance because you have the 200-day and then you have the 20 and the 50-week moving average, which are very strong key levels that you do not want to be underneath. So we want to break above them so we can get a nice move to the upside. As you can see, whenever you do get a 20-week cross above the 50, you get a large rally. And as you can see, when you fall underneath it, you get some downside. So we definitely want to see the 20 reclaim that 50. After this cross to the downside, hopefully shortly after we can reclaim it. On the daily Bollinger Bands, we are bouncing off of the blue band, which is supporting price as well to the upside. Hopefully we get a move to the red band. And here on the weekly Bollinger Band, we took a bounce off the green band at the bottom, and we're making our way up to the blue band, which could potentially be another level of resistance at about 169. Some things to keep note of: we do have some resistance above our head on different indicators at different levels, but it's generally in the same area at the moment. On the daily, we are looking pretty good. We did fall back underneath, but we are creating a bull flag. We fell underneath this yellow moving average. So we want to reclaim that, get a bounce off of it, and push up higher. And on the weekly, we did break out of the yellow moving average downtrend. And let's see if we get a retest and push up higher, eventually to overbought territory. That's the ideal scenario. We want to see these green areas right here get filled up as we make our way up to the upside. On the daily MACD, we are looking very good. We got our move above the dotted line, the 0 point, so we're in bullish territory, but we did fall underneath the orange moving average, but that's not a big deal because this can quickly just reclaim it and push back above higher. As you can see here, we fell underneath, and shortly after, it reclaimed it and pushed even higher. So we could definitely see something like that happen, where it's a temporary dip and then reclaims the orange moving average. And then these red candles can eventually turn back to green in the snap of a finger. And on the weekly, we are bearish, but we are starting to curl back up. And as you can see, the bearish volume has depleted dramatically, and we are on our way to getting green candles relatively soon, whether it's within a week or two. I could definitely see some green candles being formed, but of course we need Bitcoin to start rallying up. So that is always the case because, you know, Bitcoin is the king of crypto and it takes everything else with it. So although Solana is a big player in the crypto space, it is still not as big as Bitcoin. So as you can see, we're starting to curl back up. So we want to see that blue moving average reclaim that orange and push up higher and start to see these green candles form to the upside for a strong, sustainable move to the upside. Ideally, you would want to see a breakout of this channel or trading zone, reclaim it, retest, and push up higher. So ideally, you would want to see an eventual breakout, retest, and push up higher. That's ideal scenario number one. Then the less ideal scenario would be pushing down, reclaiming, trying to reclaim it, and getting rejected, and then push down to lower levels. I could definitely see 69 underneath if we were to break this level. We could see 69. If we break that, then we could see all the way down to 56, down to 51. But let's hope that that does not happen. I want to see the first scenario pushing upward. When we take a look here at the Fibonacci and you pull it all the way to the top, you got to bounce off the 618, which is ideal. But we're still within the golden zone, which is the 0.5 to the 618. So we're still in the area of support. So we haven't broken out of it yet. So we want to see a close and retest of that 0.5, which is sitting at around 155 to 156, get a push up higher, and eventually make it to the top of this range. And if you pull it even lower, we're still kind of in the same idea, in the same area. And if you pull it even lower, we are still in that same region. So no matter how far down you pull it in these three scenarios, it's still within the golden zone. So keep that in mind. And if you pull it closer, then we are actually just breaking inside of the golden zone. As you can see, we just broke above the 618. We're getting a rebound off of the 618, trying to push up higher. So let's see if we can hold that level and push up higher. We do have a clean candle here on the left-hand side. When you look at the weekly, whenever you have a clean candle like that, you can make a clean move back up and push up even higher. So there's not much traffic when you take a look on the weekly to the left-hand side. Keep that in mind. So if we were to break this candle here, the wick at 156.78, we could make it back to 180 relatively quickly. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we could make it there very fast. So of course you need momentum and volume, and you need Bitcoin to be trending upward. And the last thing to take note of is Fibonacci to the bearish on a bearish pull. So something to keep note of right here. If you push all the way up to 196, no 195, you'll be running into the golden zone, which is the 618 to the 0.5, which is 195 to about 217. This could potentially play out where we push up. Let me draw it out for you guys. You push up, reject, and that would actually coincide with this trend line and this golden zone. And you push up and you reject back downward because this is in a bearish direction. This Fibonacci is to the downside, so this is supporting price to push down. It would act as a level of resistance currently. So keep that in the back of your mind when we start pushing up to this level of 195 to 217. That's all I have for you guys here on Solana. Drop a comment, like the video, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one.